For years, the Tesla Model Y has been the safe choice. The one you buy when you want an EV that just works, without thinking too hard. But now, something interesting is happening. Kia has quietly rolled out a new electric SUV that doesn't try to shock you. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. It doesn't promise some futuristic revolution. Instead, it asks a simpler question. What if the best electric family car isn't the loudest one in the room? That car is the Kia EV5. At first glance, the EV5 might not look like a headline grabber, but that's exactly why it matters. This is basically Kia's electric alternative to the Sportage. A familiar shape, a familiar purpose. A family-sized SUV built for the part of the market where most people actually live. Because while flashy EVs get the attention, the real shift to electric happens when normal cars become electric. And the EV5 is Kia aiming straight at that moment. Kia already knows how to build strong EVs. The EV6 pushed the brand into a new era. The EV9 proved Kia could go big and bold. The EV5 sits right in the middle, not too small, not too massive. And that middle ground is where families shop. It's not trying to convert die-hard petrol fans overnight. It's for people who want something comfortable, predictable, and easy to live with, just electric. That's why the EV5 feels instantly recognizable. The design follows Kia's current electric style. Sharp lines, geometric surfaces, and a confident, squared-off stance. Up front, you get slim LED headlamps and a clean, modern face. But you may also feel like you've seen it before. Park it next to Kia's other electric models and you start to notice a pattern. It looks a bit like a scaled-down EV9, a little less bold, a little safer. And that isn't automatically a bad thing. It simply tells you what Kia is chasing here: broad appeal. From the side, the proportions feel right. It doesn't look oversized or awkward. It looks like a car designed to blend into everyday life without fading into the background. Step inside and the EV5 gets more interesting. One surprise is the driving position. It's lower than you'd expect for an SUV. You feel tucked into the cabin, not perched on top of it. The high shoulder line and long bonnet add to that feeling of being securely nested inside the car. It's comfortable and confidence-inspiring. The trade-off is that in tight spaces, it can take a little time to judge the edges of the car. Parking and narrow streets demand a bit more attention at first. But once you settle in, the cabin feels calm and well thought out. Kia hasn't gone wild with gimmicks here. It focuses on clarity. In front of you is a large digital driver display. Next to it is a big infotainment screen. And between them sits a smaller unit dedicated to heating and ventilation. The best part is what's underneath. Physical buttons. Real buttons you can press without hunting through menus. Temperature, fan speed. The basics. Simple controls that make daily driving less stressful. The screens themselves are sharp and easy to read. The system is mostly intuitive. Pairing your phone is quick and painless. There are a few small frustrations. Some touch-sensitive shortcuts are hard to locate while you're moving. And depending on how high you like the steering wheel, it can block a bit of the screen. Still, the overall feeling is that this cabin was designed for real people, not a tech demo. In the back, there's plenty of space. Adults sit comfortably. Kids have room to stretch out. USB-C charging ports are exactly where you want them, right behind the front seats. And the cabin has lots of storage spots for family clutter. Bottles, wipes, bags, all the stuff that always ends up in a car. The boot is strong too. And when you fold the rear seats flat, it opens up into a genuinely practical cargo area. There's even a small front storage space up front, which is perfect for storing the charging cable so it doesn't slide around with everything else. And now, the part that matters most in daily life: how it drives. The EV5 uses a single front-mounted electric motor, driving the front wheels. It's smooth, quiet, and predictable. Press the accelerator and the car moves forward cleanly, without drama. It won't pin you to your seat. but it doesn't need to. This is a family SUV. It gives you the kind of performance that makes daily driving easy, merging, overtaking, climbing hills, without turning every trip into a flex. Around town, the EV5 feels relaxed. On the motorway, it settles into a refined cruise. There's enough power to keep up with traffic confidently, and it stays quiet at speed. Kia also gets the pedal tuning right. The throttle feels natural. The brake pedal is smooth and easy to judge, even though it's blending regenerative and friction braking in the background. And you can adjust the regenerative braking strength with paddles behind the steering wheel. One setting feels more like a traditional petrol SUV. Another lets you slow down in traffic with far less brake use. It sounds like a small feature, but in real life it makes the car easier to drive smoothly, especially in stop-and-go city traffic. The suspension is tuned more for stability than softness. Body roll is kept under control, and the car feels sure-footed on uneven roads. It also deals with bigger bumps and potholes better than you might expect, even on larger wheels. Overall, it feels composed rather than sporty. And that sums up the EV5's personality. It doesn't try to excite you, it tries to support you. Now, if you're watching this because of one question, EV5 or Tesla Model Y, here's the honest split. The Model Y still feels more tech-first, quicker off the line, more dramatic in the way it responds. It feels like a car designed around software. The EV5 feels more grounded, more traditional, more like the kind of SUV most people are used to, just electric. If you love the minimalist, screen-led, futuristic vibe, the Tesla will probably still pull you in. But if you want something that feels familiar, practical, and less different, the Kia starts making a lot of sense. And that's the real story here. The EV5 isn't trying to be the most exciting electric SUV. It's trying to be the easiest one to live with. School runs, commutes, grocery trips, weekend drives, a quiet cabin, useful storage, and controls that don't make you fight the car. In that sense, the EV5 plays a long game. It may not grab attention on day one, but it's the kind of car that fits into people's lives and quietly wins them over. And as EVs become the default instead of the exception, that matters. Because the future of electric driving won't be built only on the cars that shout the loudest. It'll be built on the ones that feel normal enough for millions of people to choose them without fear. So the real question isn't whether the EV5 is more exciting than a Tesla Model Y. It's whether it makes going electric feel easier. And for a lot of families, the answer might be yes. If you like calm, real-world car reviews like this, consider subscribing. It helps us keep making videos that focus on everyday driving, not just spec sheets.